Narito ang official, new and loaded complete lineup ng Meralco Bolts para sa 2025-2026 East Asia Super League Tournament. Point guards, Jolo Mendoza, 5'10", 160 pounds, 27 years old, 7.5 points, 0.5 rebounds, 1 assist, 25% 3-point shooter, 100% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Aaron Black, 6'1", 180 pounds, 28 years old, 8.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 0.3 steals, 28% 3-point shooter, 64% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Anjo Karam, 5'7", 159 pounds, 34 years old, 3.4 points, 0.9 rebounds, 0.4 assists, 0.3 steals, 22% 3-point shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Kurt Rayson, injured player, 5'10", 170 pounds, 27 years old, 9.2 points, 1.8 rebounds, 1 assist, 20% 3-point shooter, 70% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Shooting guards, CJ Cancino, sophomore, 6'3", 175 pounds, 25 years old, 10.2 points, 2.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 0.7 steals, 25% 3-point shooter, 83% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Chris Banquero, 6'1", 175 pounds, 36 years old, 16.9 points, 4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 14% 3-point shooter, 67% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Chris Newsome, 6'2", 190 pounds, 35 years old, 16.6 points, 4.3 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.6 steals, 0.5 blocks, 32% 3-point shooter, 80% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. JerAve, PBA 50th draft target, 6'2", 213 pounds, 28 years old, 12.6 points, 4.9 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1 steal, 26% 3-point shooter, 74% free throw shooter in his 2023-2024 Japan B-League season averages. Small forwards, Alain Maliksi, comeback player, 6'4", 180 pounds, 38 years old, 5 points, 3 assists, 50 field goal percentage, 100% free throw shooter, 14 minutes per game, 1 game played in his PBA 49 Commissioner's Cup averages. Bong Quinto, 6'2", 185 pounds, 30 years old, 12.8 points, 4.6 rebounds, 3 assists, 0.8 steals, 48% 3-point shooter, 77% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Johnson Rios, 6'3", 185 pounds, 34 years old, 2.2 points, 1.6 rebounds, 0.6 assists, 0.6 steals, 16% 3-point shooter, 33% free throw shooter in his PBA 49th Philippine Cup averages. Justin Brownlee, naturalized import player, 6'5", 220 pounds, 37 years old, 23.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.9 blocks, 34% 3-point shooter, 80% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Commissioner's Cup averages. Power forwards, Raymar Jose, 6'4", 200 pounds, 33 years old, 6.9 points, 4.8 rebounds, 0.4 assists, 54 field goal percentage, 62% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Philippine Cup averages. Cliff Hodge, 6'4", 195 pounds, 37 years old, 9.9 points, 6.6 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.9 blocks, 47 field goal percentage, 56% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Philippine Cup averages. Kyle Pascual, 6'6", 213 pounds, 35 years old, 0.6 points, 1.2 rebounds, 0.6 assists, 0.4 blocks, 33 field goal percentage, 50% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Philippine Cup averages. Rondae Hollis Jefferson, EASL import, 6'6", 217 pounds, 30 years old, 26.9 points, 12.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.8 steals, 1.6 blocks, 30% 3-point shooter, 74% free throw shooter in his last PBA 49 Commissioner's Cup averages. Norbert Torres, 6'6", 265 pounds, 35 years old, 3.1 points, 0.8 rebounds, 0.4 blocks, 16% 3-point shooter, 75% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Philippine Cup averages. Raymond Almazan, 6'8", 194 pounds, 36 years old, 6.8 points, 5 rebounds, 1.4 blocks, 28% 3-point shooter, 75% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Philippine Cup averages. Brandon Bates, 6'8", 231 pounds, 28 years old, 3.9 points, 5.9 rebounds, 0.8 blocks, 48 field goal percentage, 33% free throw shooter in his PBA 49 Philippine Cup averages. Ito ang official new and loaded complete lineup ng Meralco Bolts para sa 2025-2026 East Asia Super League Tournament. Sa tingin niyo mga kababos, kaya na bang mag-champion ngayon ng Meralco Bolts sa pinagsamang RHJ at Kabayan Brownlee para sa 2025-2026 EASL Tournament? I-comment nyo na po yan sa baba.